बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। मसूद साहब के बाद बात करना बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है कि अब और क्या बात की जा सकती है। सब कुछ तो उन्होंने कह दिया, उसके बाद इनके लिए भी कुछ जगह रखनी है। तो मैं ही करती हूँ कि सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ करंट अपडेट्स के बारे में बात कर लेती हूँ। एक तो ये है कि so there is a forum for human rights in Jammu and Kashmir, and post 2019 it has been extremely active, and they have publicized another report. They publicize their reports annually, so one was released yesterday. And considering the context that the Supreme Court of India has facilitated the government of India's change in its constitution, the Supreme Court did not, as it had previously shown strength, of stopping the Indian government from annexing Indian-occupied Kashmir to India. So what we see is that there is a continuous dilution and weakness of the Indian institutions. Just like Brigadier Janjua told us about how Article 370 was diluted. You see, when a country, an occupying state, is busy in occupying a state, what it does not realize is that it is weakening itself. And India is a classical example of every weakness. The recent skirmish of May 2025 has all. We, the Kashmiris, have been hearing by multitudes of Pakistanis that, oh my God, India is this and that, and we need to do this and that, and that. With all due respect, we don't believe it. India was never rising, it was never shining. It cannot. A colonizer cannot. It can sell the idea of the shine. It can sell the idea of democracy. But you see, that is the classic skill set that India has. It thrives on Bollywood. It thrives on movies. It does not survive on reality. And so we're sold to the Indian movies that we see. One that clearly shows that Pakistani media does not have that strength to show the reality. We're not at par, and it is okay. If Pakistanis want to believe it's a David versus Goliath, it's okay. Because there might be reprieve, there might be some time where people can relax and take some time off and then jump into, fight against India. But for Kashmiris, there is none. Kashmiris post-1947 did not change their stance. One of the most instrumental reasons for Kashmiris not changing their stance is because the repression that they live in does not allow them this choice. If we were to believe all that India says that it is doing for the upliftment of Kashmiris, in all honesty, it is said and believed that money can buy anything. We're also human beings. What kind of money is this that we are unable to sell ourselves? Human beings are treated as a commodity. Maybe we could have been bought, but you see, India does not want to buy us. India wants the land without the Kashmiris. India has been proactively doing that. It has been killing Kashmiris. It has changed the demography, not just by the numbers that were just shown, the additional domiciles. The demographic change has been happening even since 1947 and before that, by killing Muslims. That's the only way that you can change demography. No matter how many people you add, you can't absorb 1 million people in a territory in a year. You just can't do that. You cannot just plant human beings. They're not plants, they're human beings. There has to be space, there has to be infrastructure. All the money that India boasts that it is investing in Kashmir is not for us Kashmiris, it is not for my people. It is for their armed forces, their colonies, their cantonment areas. They need to do that so that they can increase the colonization. 2019, 5th August, is a day where occupation was tried to change into an annexation so that the settler colonial agenda could be moved forward at a faster pace. Nothing that has happened post 29 is new. It is not that it was happening for the first time. Be it law, be it human rights, any and everything has been progressively deteriorating. But that does not still satisfy India's hegemonistic appetite of ownership. India believes in Akhand Bharat. In 2023, when the new Parliament building of India was inaugurated, they put up an old map. It was not a new map. Generally, they have that map in their museums. This is the map of India that they believe was at Ashoka's time, which was Akhand Bharat. Now, some people say that, no, this is an old map, and what's the big deal? No, it is not an old map because you believe in it. This is India's ideology. And it is not just BJP. It is Congress as well. Was Kashmir and Kashmiris in a better state when Congress was leading India? No. So then why do we associate all of this aggression only to BJP? You see, this is a state plan which none of the parties change. Some are soft-spoken, like, people are completely in love with President Obama. He was such a smart man but he was unbelievably lethal and the worst of presidents. During his time, the drone attacks within Pakistan multiplied. But we don't like Trump because he's crass and he speaks like you and me, by the way. Trump spoke like an intellectual. Obama spoke like an intellectual. So we're ready to be bought by good words. We like being sold to good ideas, completely knowing that the reality is not what is being said. The reality is stark and brutal. The actions were never supported by their words. And their words are always very different. Also, I see multiple people mostly equating Kashmir to Palestine. Palestine wants independence. Kashmir wants to join Pakistan. We have to be very careful when we're aligning these two movements. Yes, the abuse is similar. The settler colonialistic agenda, of course, is similar. There's another difference. Hamas does receive military support, material support. Kashmiris don't. Pakistan actively changed its policy. Pakistan was grey listed. What do you think Pakistan did to get out of FATF? It had to do a lot of legislation. Kudos and hats off and all praise for getting out of that list. But you see that Pakistan was put into that list because of what was perceived was being done. No one spoke up at any time that Kashmiris have the right to self-defense. Kashmiris have been given the right of self-determination. And the self-determination cannot come without self-defense. And there is no help. I would love to praise all the progress that has been made. But let that not diminish the actual issue, which is there is no material help for Kashmiris who want to fight back Indian aggression. What we call ceasefire line is called LOC over here. Why? You see, language is very powerful, and we change the narrative. Sadly, Pakistan unknowingly, and I would like to believe unknowingly, follows the narrative that is created by India. India says, oh, Simla made Kashmir bilateral. We say, oh my God, India made Kashmir bilateral. We forget all the resolutions of United Nations, which clearly says that no state can change the state of Indian occupied Kashmir. We completely forgot. And we kept maligning ourselves. We looked down at ourselves. Pakistanis are so not used to being proud of ourselves, of being brave and courageous and accepting who we are. That's an Indian narrative, that we are bad people. And Pakistanis, sadly, even to date, actually do believe that we are bad people. No, we are not. We are unbelievably courageous people, and we have never stepped back. We have never given away any of our territory, Kashmir included. Fine, there was no kinetic action in 2019, but the ownership is still there because Kashmiris say that we the people want to join Pakistan. India says that Indus Water Treaty is in abeyance. It should not be taken lightly. During May, India did attack Neelam Jhelum. There is evidence, clear evidence. This is a fact, not a story. Now, what can India do when it says that Indus Water Treaty is in abeyance? Indus Water Treaty is an extremely diluted treaty. We know that India has been eating away at Indus Water Treaty. It has built multiple hydropower projects on the rivers in Indian-occupied Kashmir, and it has been progressively stopping the flows of water to Pakistan. Pakistan, even if there is no Indus Water Treaty, there is international law, Pakistan has lower riparian rights. What we do forget is that in this India-Pakistan story, the uppermost riparian is China. And China has actually given a warning to India, which might be more credible a warning than probably, because Pakistanis don't like to give credit to themselves. Even they have said that you cannot stop waters from flowing. So there's a lot of strong international law that facilitates lower riparian rights. So we must not feel weak. We can fight it, but there has to be this clarity. This is not new. Kashmiris, wherever we have spoken, we have clearly told all the stakeholders, all the decision makers, that if you are weak on Kashmir, if you don't want to fight for the people of Kashmir, write it. You will fight for water. What will you do when people of Kashmir won't assist you? But thank God, post-2019, it was really bad. Thank God that India did attack in May. Because this is what we said. The war will happen. You can start it with your own choice, or it will come to your door. And it did. And India will not stop. It will keep doing this. But there has been a postponement of Indian grand plans because finally Pakistan responded. And that is why it is so instrumental and so crucial. Please don't sell yourself to this higher morality. This does not exist. There is no higher morality. Look at what is happening in Palestine. Don't waste yourself on this higher morality. There is no higher morality. It is all about power. You beat me, I will beat you more. That is all that the world understands. The fact that the world is finally looking at Pakistan, why? Because we were good in diplomacy? No. because Pakistan beat the shit out of India in just 2 days. That's the world. Accept it. So then why are we weak when it comes to Kashmir? We need to be stronger. The prisoners in Indian jails, the political prisoners. Dr. Faktu has been in Indian jails for over 30 years. He happens to be a political prisoner who has spent more than 30 years of his life in Indian jails. He has spent more time in the jail than Mr. Nelson Mandela. So you have this Kashmiri leadership, which is at the top of any recorded abuses. We're up there. But people know his wife, Asya Andarapi. The whole family is incarcerated. There are multiple people. We remember just a few famous ones, but I wanted to remind you that the not so famous have spent more time in Indian jails for believing in a Pakistan than the very famous ones. So we have heroes. Please remember our heroes. We should look up to our heroes, and Dr. Faktu happens to be one of them. Pervez Imroz is a person who is a lawyer, and and Parveena Ahangar. They both have received Rafto Peace Award for their instrumental work in not only documenting, missing people, but trying to find them. Parveena Ahangar had a special son who was taken away by the Indian forces, and she never found him. And this brave woman went out not only searching for her own son, but for all the other sons. And she was recognized, and she was given this Rafto Award. These are the first two Kashmiris who received this award. Do we celebrate these? No. There are multiple Kashmiri journalists who won Pulitzer Prizes. Do we celebrate them? No. Khurram Parvez, who started with Pervez Imroz the work of forming a book called Structures of Violence, which at least till 2016 had all the FIRs. You see, India does not register FIRs for Kashmiris. They did a few. And so he made this book which had all those FIRs, name of the victim, perpetrator, which was always Indian Army, Indian government, the crime, these hard facts which can provide you a good ground for lawfare has been provided not just to the government of Pakistan, government of AJK, but to the United Nations and European Parliament as well. Proper work has been done, and this is being updated. This is being updated by Kashmiri lawyers. So what President Masood Sahab said before he left, that most of the content that you find is Indian. Put in some effort and try to find the Pakistani and Kashmiri content, because it is somewhere there, because we're doing it. So try to find us. Kashmiris are putting in their best effort to be seen and to be heard, but please don't expect Kashmiris from Indian-occupied Kashmir to do more. No, nothing. AJK Kashmiris can, and we are. Please do not hope that something of Palestinian kind of intifada happening in Indian-occupied Kashmir. It's not, because we don't have material support. If we do, then even today we can fight back. Very few freedom fighters are in Indian-occupied Kashmir. The Indian forces themselves say that they have around 500 to 1,000 freedom fighters. This is what they say. Never heard of a number more than 1,000. But they're so brave that even though they don't have the latest ammunition, India requires more than 800,000 armed forces to catch these 1,000 people, which they have never had. They kill a few, but they've never been able to catch Kashmiris. So we're at our front. We're doing well. I would like to tell you that we're very hopeful and we're very powerful. We're very brave because Pakistan stands with us. I would like to request that please be proud of all the achievements. Please stop talking about an India which is over there, and Please look at its reality, which is it's way beyond and below us, and treat it like that. Do your business, do your trade. We don't stop you. But do not give up on any of the strategic importance that is attached to Kashmir just for mere trade. Because Pakistan has traded with India, and I would like to tell you, it wasn't really successful. Kashmiris tell you, Indians don't like you. They're not interested in your money, and they will find each and every way to bring you down. So don't trust them. Thank you.